Thank you once again for joining us on the Four Wise Men. What's going on, fellas?
Good evening.
What up?
Chilling.
D. Come on, Fitty. You got 96 then. All right, so I get it done.
Good evening. Thank you, everyone, for joining us for another round of the Four Wise Men. We appreciate you guys continuing to come out, continuing to join us, continuing to grace us with your presence. We're a podcast where we unite generations through candid discussions on sports, music, men's mental health, friendship, entertainment, and politics. For the record, you guys missed a lot of that. We talked politics, we talked movies, we did all of that off the camera because it's too soon for us to get into politics, even though I'm wearing my presidential, my Wu-Tang back there and my American flag, Wu-Tang, T.O., this was just for, I put this on just for you because you said everything was political with me in this year of politics. But nonetheless, we're a podcast, like I say, where we touch on a lot of different things. Our aim is to pass on timeless principles of wisdom while connecting with local influencers, creating a space where diverse voices resonate. We appreciate you guys joining us for insightful conversations that we believe transcend time, generations. We try to bridge the gaps between the past, present, and future. Our aim is to make sure you know what it is to be a regular Joe, hearing regular Joes, TOs, D Smooths, and Greg Nices, or not
so nice.
Greg Not So's talk about real life, y'all. Like I said, we taking this journey. We enjoy this journey. We have a good time while we're doing it. So thank you guys for joining the Four Wise Men.
And gals.
I'm not regular.
You know what's so funny? So D Smooth, we've had this conversation. So I've heard people who identify as females, when they walk into a room, even if it's a room full of other people
you
who
can't
identify
say that after I said I'm not regular. Come on, man. You got to tell them what you're talking about.
I'm going to talk about direct. So what I'm saying is so I said, so when you just said what you said, I said, what's up, guys?
Mm-hmm.
So Damien said, and girls. He gave the HR response, which is to make sure we're all inclusive. And
right.
What I was going to say was we had a conversation at work, because if you walk, if a person who identifies as female walks into a room with other people who identify as female, they'll still say, hey guys, how's it going?
You're right.
And when they say that, it's accepted and it's good. But if a guy comes in and it's a room, even if it's a room that someone who identifies as female, says guy, if it's a room full of different gendered individuals, if they say, hey guys, it's accepted. But if a guy walks in and says that, their natural response is to do what D Smooth did, which was guys and girls.
Right.
And so
I'm trying to understand why he said guys and girls. I think we all clearly.
I was talking to this group of individuals on the podcast. I wasn't talking to the audience at the time. But listen, D Smooth, HR has to do what HR has to do. I understand. I appreciate him doing it. So it led to a story. So
yeah.
So why aren't you regular? Why aren't you regular?
But I just said because you were like, yeah, you want to relate to some regular Joes. Hey, I'm an extraordinarily unique Joe. I don't know about y'all.
Regular Joe.
Right.
Yeah.
I said, bro, the line was regular Joes, TOs, D Smooths, and not so's. That's how it goes, bro.
Not so's.
Exactly.
I'm mad because I like how that sounds, but I don't want to be not so nice, bro. Nah.
I heard you 2 episodes ago when you said you weren't going to claim the name, bro. But
yeah, no. But it's funny.
But for copyright purposes, we can't call you Greg Nice. We can't. There's a whole rapper out there who has that name.
But mine is different.
It is. True that.
You are different. Very unique.
Unregular.
Y'all ain't my friends. That's why I have so many female friends, because I needed a place to run. Who can I run to? Not
It's a
y'all.
great segue into
Listen
tonight's
to me.
topic, Greg.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Hey, I've been watching Arsenio.
He said, "Who can I run to?" Yeah, Escape
Yes.
sound, bro.
Yes.
Great,
No,
great
so
segue.
yeah, this is the you said he's just a friend, you said she's just a friends episode. The topic is whether or not, and it's only
Can
an
you just
issue if
get to
you're
the topic?
non-single,
Stop trying
right?
to.
Wait, I have to specify. I have to make sure. It's non-single people, right? Having friends
No,
It could be
or
any.
just
I mean,
adults, period.
we're just talking about it in general, man. Stop trying to make it so
Okay, I'm
specific.
just saying. The question is, can or adult men and women be friends, right?
Hell no.
What is it?
I'm sitting back. It's funny.
Oh, that's your response. That's your answer.
I'm sitting back because I want to hear, like, for me, as I'm listening to you guys talking, I like one. This is a very well saturated conversation. There's so many people when you're trying to do research on this and discuss
Right.
it. It's a lot of individuals. Greg, I hit you up on Instagram and IG yesterday and told you, like I said, I had a conversation with my youngest daughter, who's, she's a senior at VCU. So as I'm talking with her, we had an interesting conversation. I'm not going to posit it now, but it was because I wanted to get different perspectives from different people and different age groups on, just the topic and just to see if it's how it changed and stuff like that. But she had some very insightful thoughts that I think at the right moment, I'm going to make sure I share because it was really some really good stuff. So I'm ready for you to lead this, spark this off, starting us with your thoughts, and then
Yeah, I definitely wanted to just give you guys my opinion on the whole thing or my philosophy, I would say. Now, hear me out. I feel that regardless of your gender, if you're a friend, that means something. And friends should respect each other. So just put that out there, right? You have friends that respect each other. They're not going to put you in positions or do things that contradict your pursuit of happiness. So you got that, right? If you have a homeboy and he's in a relationship, you know to not press for him to stay and watch the whole game. If he's like, hey, I gotta go, you already know why, because that's your man's and y'all talk. Why is it expected that can't be the case if genders are switched?
So
I
one, you
feel
really confused me. So that we're clear on how we're doing this, because we're
Yeah.
talking about, are we talking about from a hetero perspective? And the only reason
Yes.
I say that is because the individuals on this call, so because I can't speak from somebody else's perspective. So when we're talking, we talk from our experience, and we're going to tell stories from our experience. So the conversation we had was, if an individual speak, like, is you said she's just a
Yes.
friend. So can men who are heterosexual have females friends who are also heterosexual or whatever? But
Yes.
nonetheless, can you do that? So I don't think we can speak in terms of gender neutrality on this, because
Right.
I'm not a
But
I'm not a gender fluid person, so I can't speak to that
that's all
experience.
me. That's all me, Will. I didn't choose that word for any specific reason. And when you mentioned it, then I'm automatically like, I was just saying if your man's was now your homegirl instead of your homeboy. That's all I was saying.
No,
No,
that's too broad. That's
Greg
a
has layered.
hypothetical.
Gregory has layered this thing so thick.
Yeah, man.
Yo,
I
like,
didn't. No,
yes, he
man.
did.
So you can't go watch the game at your homegirl house? That's what I'm asking.
No. Oh
Why
no.
not?
No.
Why not?
No. Let's specify, right? Now, if you are in a relationship
That's
and
what
you
I
have
tried
a
to specify in
significant
the
other,
beginning.
no,
I
you
said
didn't specify
non-single.
that. No,
Did I not
you
say non-single?
well, flag on the play. Let's go look at the camera review on the video.
Throw the challenge flag.
If you have a homeboy and he's in a relationship,
Okay, so if you're non-single, can't you just say in a relationship? I mean, really?
I mean, come
Anyway,
on, man. Sometimes situationship, and then you have just a shorty that you messing with or you're talking
see,
to.
there you go again. Layers. Just there's too many layers to the conversation already. Just
Okay,
say you're in
in a relationship,
a committed relationship with.
committed relationship.
You're in a relationship
Yes.
now. The,
Why are we speaking in generalities when we could we say we're going to talk to the audience about our experiences. So where we are on this journey, so we could talk to the details of it. I'll be specific. Me personally, I think it's a very and within relationships we talk about boundaries, and then I'm clear that when I look at my current relationship and how it's approached, I don't have female friends like I have the friends on this line. I do have I have you know, I have some individuals that I've worked with, and they've come to events with us. They've crossed into work, like, and then they'll cross into like we're brothers and sisters friend role. I do feel like I have one that's like that where and you know, I'll mention the guy's name, Tony. Remember, she was with Tony. I'm not going to put certain people out there because as we're talking, but remember, and I consider her a friend, but like that friendship, and yep, go to lunch, you know, be able to hang out, but we both have respectful boundaries because she also hangs out with my babe. She knows my babe, so we have that there. If you would have asked me, am I creating female friends, watching games, think like I could talk to a coworker about sports, we can do all of those things. But if you're asking me, am I hanging out with them, trading text messages with them the same way I trade text messages with you all? For me, that's a no. That's not something I'm developing in my journey right now. When I was a teenager, I said I could see yes. But right now, that's where if it's somebody that's my friend and not my significant other's friend, for me right now, that's a hard no.
Okay. So I believe what you just said was that you have pre-existing friendships that you still maintain with
We met her, yeah. So I met her. So you know, within the framework of work, when you're not working remote, not so. No, you come into the party late. You not so know what I'm talking about. But when you're not working remote, like I get to interact with a lot of people. So they start off like the individuals start off being what I consider clients of mine. And then when they start off being clients, some of them have crossed over into the realm of, okay, we're cool, we hang out, we become friends, like, and we kick it. Those same individuals then are introduced to my babe. And once they're introduced to her, we all start kicking it and we all become cool. What I'm saying is I can have conversations, but it's only I would say it's
limited.
only one. I would say it's only one person in the one person that I feel like I would consider a friend in the aspect of how I define our friendship. I don't consider myself if somebody, and like I said, I don't want to go too far down the rabbit hole because you guys have to talk and speak on your on what your opinion is, because I think we're all going to talk deeper as we go. But I, for me, like I say, it's not that I can't have a female friend, but that female friend has to be associated, connected to, understand my relationship that I'm currently in, and not only understand it, they have to be someone who, for me, doesn't have emotional ties or have, you know, I don't want people who have had feelings or who made passes. Like for me, that's my boundary because I prefer for it not to enter into my current relationship. That's me.
Go ahead, Toby.
okay. So
Go ahead, Greg. You want to say something? I know you want to. Go ahead.
no, I'm just trying to confirm what so I understand. Will, you're saying that it is okay, but it has to fit within certain parameters for it
For
to be
me,
okay.
for
Okay.
me, for me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
For me.
Okay. Go ahead, Tio.
Oh, no. I'm married, going on 15 years. I'm not creating any new. Didn't really walk into our relationship with any female friends. Um, and the female friends that are around, they're because those are my wife's friends. So I might converse with them from time to time on topics that are very neutral for majority of the point. Now I will say there's been a couple times I've talked to female friends about perspectives that they were looking to date and just had questions like, what do you think about this, that, and the third? And I've talked about it in front of my wife, never with her not around. So, but again, most of those female friends are my wife's friends, so they're my friends, but they're through my wife. I'm not creating any female friends, right? Just because I don't want no drama. I don't want nothing to be. uh, I mean, yes, I would create boundaries if it popped up, but at the same time, I'm not searching for it. Um, I'm good with you guys and then a couple other male friends I have. At this point in my time in my life, I don't see having a female friend necessary. So
Yeah. You want to analyze that, Greg?
No, there's no, I'm not in. I feel like so far Toby and Will have said things that I definitely echo. For me, it's not so much about making new friends. That doesn't make sense. If you're in a committed relationship, to make new friends that are exclusive to just you, even if for the most part, even if they are the same. Like if I make a new male friend, I feel like my partner should know about them. Because if you're hiding anything,
Facts.
in my opinion, that's a
Facts.
problem.
Facts.
But my real question is about friends that are already established. Friends that, like people you went to high school with, people you work with at the previous job before you met
Mm-hmm.
your new. And I'm like, I personally feel like you know who you are and your partner should know who you are.
Yeah.
And you should be able to manage that friendship
I agree with that.
in a mature way.
I agree with that. I don't like I say this the scenario I just explained to you was exactly what that was. It's not like they knew each other prior to, but in the introduction and the interactions, where once we started kicking it and then having them over to the house and then going over to their house. Yeah, you're right, because but it was seen and it was clear that there were we weren't handling it in some sneaky or
Mm-hmm.
underhanded type of way where there were conversations not happening. But you
Mm-hmm.
made a great point, which is even if it's a new male friend, even if you start kicking with somebody where you feel like you're going to be hanging up, then I believe your significant other should know them. I don't think that you should have those pieces to your life where they're not connected to, whether male or female. So I agree with you there, 100%.
What you think,
Yeah,
D?
I think, yeah. So, it, so Ange, actually, most of her friends, well, I wouldn't say most, but probably 30 to 40% of her friendships are males. And that's either pre-established to me or people that she's worked with that she became friends with. Um, so I mean, she has her best friend who's a female. She has a couple of other female friends, but people that she corresponds with on a, if not daily basis or on a weekly basis, are males. And when we got together, it's never been an issue for me, at least as far as I know. It's never been a bother to me. Um, like she'll go out and have drinks with a couple of her guy friends that she knew from work or wherever. Anne's a social person, so she makes friends pretty easily. Toby, um, so it's like you said, like as long as you're aware of the people and there's that boundary that's sort of been preset anyway, then I don't see a problem. We're all human beings. I think we can be respectful enough to one another to know where our statuses are as far as relationships and things like that. When I was younger, it didn't occur to me so much because I had a couple of female friends, and I could be in a relationship with a woman and still maintain those female friendships. And I probably wasn't as conscious as to how it made them feel in that moment. Because to me, I was like, well, these are my friends that I've known prior to meeting you. I don't feel like I need to change anything in that sense. But obviously, as I got older and got married and had sort of different perspectives and different lessons learned over the years, yeah, then like you said, if you're going to be hanging out with somebody, male or female, then your partner should definitely know about it. To this day, I don't really, I wouldn't say I have female friends in the sense of friendships like I have with you guys, or anything like that. Like I don't go to a female's house and watch football or go to movies or whatever. The
No,
females that I
no guy and gal weekend trips.
um yeah, I don't look, man, I don't even bring my kids to our trips. You know
I'm
what I
just saying, you
mean?
know how we done went to Vegas, we done went to
Yeah.
games and concerts. So I'm just saying,
Yeah,
no, there's no
there's
mixed couple, there's no mixed friends trips
so
in your plan where Ange is not involved.
right, because generally when we do those are Angie's friends.
Mhm.
Well,
You know, like as you know, I have a trip coming up that I'm so looking forward to.
Mm-hmm.
But those are Angela's friends, right? They're they're my friends through her in that sense.
yeah,
But I'm not kicking it with them. You know what I mean? I'm like
Yeah.
not calling them or texting them all the time. It's I see them when we all hang out in a group like that, but I don't reach out to them for any other reason other than that. But the few females that I still correspond with are people that I've known for 30 years. You know what I mean? And that isn't corresponding with them like on a daily basis. That's like once every 2 months, just a funny meme or something about a movie or something completely irrelevant essentially. But um, that's the level of keeping in contact.
You basically said that there is a limit or
Mhm.
like a ceiling as far as what your interactions with your friends that you've had for 30 years that you still
Mhm.
keep in contact with. Do you feel like that's something that happened naturally, or you're intentionally making decisions to not say things or talk
Mm,
about specific topics?
No, I just think as you get older and you get more established in your relationship, wife, husband, whatever, and life takes over, right? So they're not part of your everyday life. Does
Is
that
that
make
something
sense?
that it makes perfect sense to me. It makes perfect sense. Do you feel like that's something that you came to naturally, or you've been told
I
that's
think
how
it's
you're
very
so?
organic movement, right? So they just slowly kind of fade away in a certain sense. Not completely because you still obviously keep in touch with them in some aspect, but it's not how it was 30 years ago. You know what I'm
I,
saying?
I, yo, you guys haven't said anything that I don't agree with, and
I got one
I
for
feel
you.
like the problem for me, yo,
I got one.
yes,
No, no, no. Y'all ready? So I was thinking this from my point of view, and then when Dame said what he said about Ange, there's a whole other side that I don't think y'all really know about. So some of Tamara's male friends that are around before me, they're ex boyfriends.
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah.
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 Look, Ange and I both,
We were on the Worryless Wednesdays.
yeah, we,
Oh, did we talk about that? I don't
Yeah,
remember.
he was
yeah.
Okay.
on there
Yeah,
with
we
us.
talked about it over this Wednesdays. Yeah, we did.
Ange and I both, I mean, maybe one or two people that we had a previous sort of established something with, that we keep in contact with every once in a while. Um, I mean, they're
And I
not,
don't trip. I don't trip about it.
yeah,
Like I
yeah.
don't look.
I mean, most of these people are 20, 30 years ago. Do you know what I mean? So
So
it's
I have so I'm going to ask both of you questions, but I do want to clarify. Damien, I think when people have work associates, I don't
Mhm.
work associates who become friends. I think there's a difference between work associates that you hang out with and you go and have a drink after work with because they're work
Right.
associates. I don't look at them in the same category as friends. A friend is somebody that, like I said, once they come into your home, once they become a part of your
Right.
life,
Right.
decide to take like that transcends just because I think we both have deep work. We both have work relationships with different individuals. A big part of my job is to take people out and to hang out with people. Same thing for her. So we both have jobs where we have to interact with different individuals. That's business. And even if you really like someone in that, that's cool. But that's still within the bounds of work. So you understand that's business, a
Right.
business relationship. That's not a friendship. So that one is clear for me. I
What
think when
about
I'm
work
listening
wife?
to, huh?
What about your work wife and
Oh,
your work
never.
husband? What
And that's
about that?
funny. I've never had.
So
I've had people actually say that, and I did it because I never wanted one. For me, I don't want people. I understand what people mean in an innocuous way, where it's not meant to be harmful. I I think this is like once again, this is my opinion. I felt like it's disrespectful to your significant. I feel like it's disrespectful to your significant other. That bond is much deeper for me than just casually associating it with someone who I may be working closely with at work. I never wanted one. Don't even. It's not even an entertainment for
But
me.
but like I've seen like that work that at work relationship, you be like, yo, y'all be pushing bounds. Like they go to lunch every day. They buy each other lunch, bring each other lunch, and you be like, yo, fam, like, what y'all are y'all like? You know what I'm saying? Like, and you believe if there was ever a work trip, you'd be like, yeah, I know what I'm about to do. You know what I'm saying? You know, um,
well, I think Toby, you were talking about because Greg had sent out that thing about being friends with people that you've had some type of
you
relationship with
cross the
before.
line with.
It's not even cross the line.
It's not across the line. It's previous. It's
Like I
previous
said,
Yeah.
relationship.
that
Yeah.
that episode talked about, and the lady was real blunt in that clip
Yeah.
that Greg sent out. Like if she said, if I had I'm gonna say vagina, she said,
Right.
if my vagina's been in your mouth, we're not friends. If your penis, cock, whatever you want to call it, has been in my mouth, then we're not friends. And like my question would be, because especially as I listen to you guys talk, my thought process for me, and because I haven't had to enter into that realm of somebody being a former lover, former something, and then and I understand the time span and difference. That's cool. And if I sound narrow, if I sound whatever, cool. But because like I said, but I can't speak from it from an experience standpoint. But my thought process is how does one reach that decision that becomes or evolves into that friendship, and our boundaries discussed, or like because they're like when we talk about male female friendships and whether or not we can enter into them, it's often based around the boundaries because you just said if I'm like, babe, I'm going to go down D's house. We going to watch the game. That's one thing. If it's no, I'm going to go over to Angie's house and watch the game. She's like, D going to be there? No, it's just me and Angie watching the Cardinals. D saying, you would never say the N word, please. But I know you wouldn't, bro. I'm saying you.
Right. Yeah.
But my thought is, but I know I'm hearing that the other way. Like, that's like, what do you mean? Y'all hanging out just watching the game? That's and it could be all kinds of respect. Like it's just trying to understand what establishes the boundaries,
Look,
because there are certain boundaries that you still set up, even within that, even if it was
hey,
just
these gonna be like, at what part of the house y'all gonna be watching? I know y'all ain't gonna be in my space.
no, we're gonna be in the red. We're gonna be in the red Cardinal.
Right. Right.
With the
be in the basement in the faraway back room where the
Nah,
Cardinals room
nah,
was,
not
with
at
the
all.
lights hanging around.
Not
that
at
would
all.
pop
with
You
up.
better be
the
on.
door,
You better be
with
on
the
the
door
deck.
shut. Like,
Right.
You better be on the deck
That has
watching on
that
the
has no
outdoor
handle on the
TV.
other side of the door. So
Nah, you better have it on a projector on the back of the house.
projector in the backyard.
Yeah.
on the
Greg, on the front lawn. Forget the
on the
Yeah.
front lawn.
with
Exactly.
Yeah,
drones,
to the garage.
drones showing
Exactly.
the overhead
No, you don't need a drone. You can watch them on the Ring camera, bro.
ring camera. I think
No, man.
to answer your question, Will, I think a couple of factors roll into that, right? So I'm not going to speak for Angela and some of her friends, but I know that the guy friends that she had, one of their relationship or whatever that was 20, 30 years ago, married, kids, that sort of thing. She's married, kids, that sort of thing. And like I said, it's not a correspondence of every day. It's not like you're treating it like a friend, like we treat each other, right? So it's oh, thought of this the other day. Damn, you remember when such and such happened, right? Like, so it's like a memory thing. Like, oh, you remember this? This was, So it's sort of those reaching out sort of things.
As long as it
For
wasn't,
me,
as long as it wasn't. Hey, you remember that time we was?
right.
Right.
And it was a
Right.
fireplace going, and we had,
Right.
snow outside. No, nothing
Right.
like that.
Right.
And so like I think I mentioned in the text, the a high school girlfriend that I had, tumultuous relationship, great as friends, terrible at being partners. But we kept in touch for a long period of time, and she's married, has kids. I'm married, have kids. We went to each other's weddings. Because there is nothing there. Like we figured that out at 20 years old, right? So I think that boundary made itself prevalent because we knew each other at that point that this was not a relationship that was going to work in that context, but we respected and liked each other enough as human beings to be friends.
Understood that.
So I think that has a lot to do with it. And like I said, I don't really want to speak for her, but I know for some of the guys that I've met that she's had a relationship with or whatever, I think it's a similar situation. It's, 20, 30 years has passed. Everybody's on their own sort of thing. They recognize that relationship wasn't going to work or whatever it was. And they were able to maintain a friendship from that because despite the relationship not working, they had a fondness, not in a loving sexual way, but just a fondness for one another. So
I think we're mature enough. Like when we talk about fondness or intimacy, we're not talking about in the sexual way. I think we understand that, especially in the context in which you're talking about us. You're using it and describing it in a way where it's talking about the friendship and the fondness within the you say that human relationship.
Yeah.
I gotta be very
and that's
careful.
my experience. I realize that people are gonna have different experiences.
No. I know that. So like for me, I gotta be very careful how I say the next few things I really want to, because
Greg's already setting you up.
I know. Let's go, Greg.
But he shouldn't set him up because this is going to be on YouTube forever.
Yep.
I'm not setting
that's
him
why.
up. I'm not setting him up.
So my recommendation would be before you speak and pulling it back. Before you be asking Nicole, hey, that part right there, make sure you edit that out. And
right. I need this 12 minutes edited out.
No, I put it this way. I'll say for me, right? When we talk about boundaries, I sucked. I mean, I think I mentioned it a couple episodes ago. I sucked at boundaries, right? What are boundaries? I don't know. I never learned that word till baby girl was like 2 and we had issues. So boundaries, what was that? I don't know. But I don't think I ever felt threatened or challenged by any of the exes that she had that she's still friends with, And I mean, shoot, the dude she dated in college. I mean, shoot, I call him because he a burger like me. He likes sports. I mean, we talk about everything. So me and him, I've had full-fledged conversations, you know what I'm saying? And again, to D's point, it's not like we talk all the time, you know, you catch up here and there, you know what I'm saying? Actually all of y'all talk with him too during Wordless Wednesday. So and then there's a couple other guys that are around. And I mean I've spoken to all of them. And I've seen the relationships kind of die off and then go through whatever. So I mean, there's a bunch of respect. I think that's pops. And plus, I mean, I don't think anybody want that smoke. You know what I'm saying? They don't want that smoke. You know what I'm saying?
County boy,
Come on, Greg.
County boy T.O. always got to say,
yeah.
I guess they don't. I guess
They don't want that smoke.
They haven't
They don't-
RSVP'd for the poor air quality.
But so let me so as we're talking in this vein, because like I say, I'm not in a position, and we're not in a position in our relationship where we experience that. I don't, and so
Right.
but I told Greg yesterday. Greg posted something on IG, and when he posted it on there, he was just taking a survey. So I was wondering if anybody responded to it. But
You know what's crazy? I got 3 responses, including yours, and I expected the first response, even though this individual has. Okay, first off, the individual I'm referring to, they said that I need to learn how to be in relationships from y'all, since you guys are in successful relationships. And I said, that's not what the podcast is about.
This is not a podcast to mature Greg.
And let it be known, we have not always had successful relationships. So
this is true.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But so she just said no. And that's my issue. The just absolute no. You know what I mean? Because I feel at that point it's no longer a commitment or a decision made by both parties. Is one party telling the other party, like giving you an ultimatum or a command. And I'm like, if it's obligatory, then it's not me choosing you. It's you telling me what I can and cannot do. If you remove the temptation, does that remove the temptation?
No,
like exactly.
I mean, but so I'll say this. I think we in our last episode we talked about what was that 2 episodes ago? I'm losing track right now. But when we talked about the love languages and how people receive love. So I think as you're kind of establishing a relationship, when you're entering into a relationship, I don't think you talk like you're getting to know each other. So you're not talking about friends and friends of friends. And so you're not talking about all of those things. So as you're kind of establishing who you are and who you two are together, I think at some point it comes up. And depending on when it does come up, that can be difficult at that juncture, because like I said, I don't think anybody when you and Ange, kind of was, start dating, y'all didn't have a conversation about, all kinds of friends, y'all getting to know each other, right? It wasn't like other people, and then those things get known. And I think once you know the person you're with, I think as they describe that and explain that to you, you can be okay and you can be comfortable because you know and trust your significant other. I think that if your partner, and it's not them forcing you, I think if your partner feels if a person feels any insecurity about a thing, and if we're talking about particularly a friend of yours that's of the opposite sex, a female friend, if that partner expresses any concern there and you cannot legitimately, the word I'm going to use, Toby, is assuage. Okay. I love the look on the.
It sounds like persuade. I'm gonna go with that for
No.
800, Alex.
It means to lessen in intensity, or if the response you give can't lessen the intensity of that person's emotional response. I think that there does have to be some consideration and some thought to, okay, what do I value more? But not just what do I value more. Then you have to also look at it from that person's perspective. Why am I asking them to give up something that's an integral piece of their lives that's not a threat to me? Or why am I feeling threatened by this? So there are lots of things and lots of pieces to this conversation that you kind of have to kind of go there.
I need that word to come up on the screen and then a definition underneath and then using the sentence. Okay.
Whenever you need a word, just ask Wikipedia and
Yeah,
he'll
pretty much.
give you the
Yeah.
definition.
I need that word to come up on the screen and then the definition. That's what I need that to happen.
It's not going to help you right now, though.
Nicole,
I'm good.
put
I'm
this
good.
Jack Lee on the TNT podcast. He said, "Underdog, put that on the shirt." We're gonna say, Nicole, put that on the screen.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Now you
Well,
need now you got to have a word every segment and then we got to put it on the screen. Yeah,
Will's word of the day.
yeah
I
pretty much.
really
Wikipedia will bring us a word a day.
Yeah, pretty much. Episode a day. I mean,
episode-
word
Word of the episode.
What were you ready to say? Not so.
I really thought that this was going to play out differently. I thought at least one of you would have the adamant response of just no without really delving into it. But I believe that I got, full, genuine, real human responses from you guys.
I mean, those are based on experiences too.
Thanks for disappointing.
After we researched this, like I say, this is a very saturated. This topic has been saturated. So when you're researching it, there was a TED talk that I watched where it was a scientist discussing it. There were your talk shows. There were your dudes online who was like, "Nah, I can't be friends if I ain't getting none." One clip popped up. Some real stupid conversations. I think I wanted to know it from the perspective of we talk about generation. So I told you I called my youngest daughter yesterday. When I called her just to kind of have conversations, and I said, so in your conversations with your friends, what are you guys talking about? Like, do you think males and females can just be friends? And she stated that her and her best friend they've been knowing each other since they've been roommates since freshman year at VCU. So they've been knowing each other for a while. They do a lot of life together. And she said a part of the conversations is when they were coming through high school and stuff, they believed they could be. But she said even some of those relationships and friendships have grown weird now when someone makes a comment that they consider like, ew, that's cringy or creepy. Like, we're good. Why are you making that comment? Meaning, so like it's making comments about not only how good they look, but how good they look or how good certain body parts look. And she said, we used to be good. And then once these individuals kind of veer into that lane, it makes it, she said, she didn't use the word awkward, but she said it makes the situation funny. So even for those friends, she said, even because she has a boyfriend. So like, and she said, when I'm committed, and that's what she is to her boyfriend. But she said, but when friends do that, it makes her feel awkward. And it was funny that she just turned 22. Her friend, I believe, is 22, maybe. I know they're at least in that same age group. But they both stated that it's something that they deal with, but they say guys always feel the need that they considered cool to cross that line or to try to cross that line. So it changes for them when they're in that place. So I don't think it's just our generation. I don't think it's just like I say, it's interesting because they are, like I said, that's a wide age gap, but their perspective was it can with boundaries. They believe it can with boundaries. And the wise statement that she made was, she said, each person understands what they want in the relationship. And if the boundaries are explained and understood, then those friendships, as long as they're within the boundaries that you set, can be experienced or lived together. So it's possible, but as long as the boundaries are kind of understood on both sides. She said if her and her boyfriend broke up now, and this has been her only one boyfriend and they've had their ons and offs, but this has been her only one boyfriend since she was 17, 18 or whatever. She said if they broke up, she does believe that if she was moving on to something else, she said, she's real close with him and his mom. She said, I don't see remaining in that friendship zone, she said, because my energy would then be in my next relationship. And that wasn't to be disrespectful. It was just like, and once again, she's not anticipating a breakup. She's just saying just where her mind is now and understanding how she is. That would be a boundary that she would set for herself.
Now I know for me in my 20s, I lost male and female friends when they got into relationships. You know what I'm saying? Um, because it's like now looking back, it was like I just believe that well, two of the dudes they were dirty, so so I could understand being lumped into the yes, your dude. No, I wasn't that dude, but they were doing some dirty stuff. But the female friends, like two of the female friends, I never crossed the line with them, right? And the one dude actually, I helped
We're
them
grown
kind
and
of.
you could just say I never had sex with them. Like it's not like we're doing this for G-rated audiences. Like I never
Oh,
crossed the line, or bro,
why
Well,
this is
can't
your
I
kissing
just
is crossing the line.
why can't I just express
Hugging
it the
too
way
long
I
is
want
crossing the
to?
line.
What happened to my freedom of speech and me being me?
Toby,
You're
Toby, you
not
good,
seeing
bro?
or hearing Toby right now.
Oh, I'm not.
Thank you for
Yo,
validating me, D
Yo,
Smooth.
I
Thank you.
apologize. I apologize. Continue with your G-rated version of this TED Talk.
It's a Toby talk.
Yeah, there you go. The Toby.
Toby talk.
If I'm doing the word of the day, you're doing the Toby talk.
Toby talk. Yep.
Toby talk. There you go. Toby talk. Go ahead, Toby talk.
What is does Roland Martin? He wraps it up at the end. Do that.
Oh.
You know what?
You got your
Leave my
khakis
man.
on.
Y'all gonna leave my man
And
Roland
your too
alone.
small sweater.
His sweaters don't be that small
Yes, they
all the
do.
time.
And then
Not
sir,
all the time.
sir, his sweater and his damn. What the hell the African joint he wore for Black History Month? Come on, bro. What is it called?
dashiki.
Yeah, he had a dashi. That you can see his titty nipples.
Oh my god.
Y'all gonna leave my man Roland alone.
Greg, did he pull his sleeves up when he had the two white sweater on? You know how sometimes he get real serious and he pull his sleeves
Yes.
up.
So go ahead.
As Martin
Go
talk,
ahead,
he
Toby
rolls
Rowland. Toby Martin.
All right, 12 minutes. Let's go.
Yo, anyway, like I said, the
We
female.
called that man 12 minutes. That's what's up.
Yeah.
I'm done. You know what? I'm gonna go give me another drink. I'm out. You know what I'm saying?
Yo,
I don't appreciate this.
Have mine, T.O. I'm not finished.
I don't appreciate this abuse that y'all try to give to me.
I think we're good. I feel like the resounding response is that responsible people make responsible decisions. And if you respect your partner, you good.
I think honestly, there's a
think
maturity level to it though. There's a maturity level that you have to have within yourself.
Yeah, true.
And security you have in yourself that doesn't allow you to deal with false narratives. Like if it ain't true, you know what I'm saying? If the boundaries are there, you're fine. But that's a maturity level thing. Because like I said, like I was going to say earlier, is that, you know, in my 20s and stuff, you're dealing with people who weren't mature, right? And like, oh, what is this dude? He's just after. No, I'm really not. If I wanted to get her, I would have had her because I was here before you. You know what I'm saying? And we never did that thing. So I'm here just being her friend, but you can't handle it. You know what I'm saying? You can't handle the truth that I'm a friend better than you.
Well, your mindset is different, like you said.
I disagree with that statement to a certain extent. Even when you're making it back then, you saying it's because of that person's insecurities. Even if I say you can have, like I say, I'm clear that you can have certain relationships that enter into your current relationship. I don't think any of us are saying you can have a female friend that along the lines that you have. So does anyone on this? Does any of us here agree or believe that you could have a female friend the way we have, like you say, going to the movies, hanging out? It doesn't mean that you can't, because there are people who I've heard and have those things. But once again, we can't speak for generalities for society.
No, for sure.
We're speaking about our experiences. Can you?
No.
And because obviously, Tio, you started off saying you can't. And you were real clear, like you don't want that drama, you don't want that
I don't want
stuff.
that
Mhm.
So
drama.
regardless of
I don't
somebody
want
else,
that smoke.
yeah, exactly. So
Right.
regardless of somebody else wanting to smoke, you said you didn't want that smoke. So my
I don't
thought would
want.
be, for me, that's a hard no. And I think I've had people, like I say, even in work relationships and work friendships, if someone makes a comment or makes me feel uncomfortable, and they're not being disrespectful, but the moment they make a comment that I'm like, nah, that's cool. Let me get up out of here. And I don't want that to be a part of it because that's the smoke that I believe you're talking about. How does that evolve into a friendship? How does that evolve into a place where you're comfortable knowing that this person feels like, hey, if you weren't in a relationship or if you weren't doing this, then
We can pursue something.
we could. And for me, it's like, okay, so that's on your brain. And once you do
Mhm.
that, like that's not a good space for me. And I don't believe that's a good space to enter into a friendship. And I'm talking about as adults in this
Right.
age bracket and this stuff. That
Got to
doesn't.
give them the Heisman.
Yeah, I'm with you, bro. I
Yeah.
disappear. What I do is I disappear. Is what I do. I disappear.
Hey, Greg, what's the Heisman?
Yo, I'm very happy. Like I said, I'm very satisfied with your responses. And it's sad because it
What is
makes
your
me
response? You
I said, so
said
was there a
I
consent?
agree with
Was
I
there
agree.
was
The
there a
consensus
consensus? Was there a disagreement? Was what like
the
what?
consensus was ultimately all around resounding no new friends. Right?
So go ahead and play the Drake song.
We can't even say that, bro. He's not paying us. Then
get them,
No
get
new
them.
friends.
then
We will
you
not
can
be
have
playing any of his songs until he pays us.
you
No
can
new friends.
exactly. We it's possible to have friends of the opposite sex that were pre-existing, but with the understanding that they will mature into friends that for the couple versus just individual friends.
And
And
it will be no sleepovers.
exactly, so the goal is to make sure that, or the intent is to have group events where it's like your friend and then the couple together. It doesn't
No,
always have to
no.
be the case,
So
but that's the
the
intent.
single person make sure they bring a person that can relate to the whole group and not create any understand ruckus for the whole group. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Yeah,
That's not what we said.
He's so
That's not
he'll
what
be
we
having
said.
a whole separate conversation.
He
In a
is.
minute,
Yeah.
And
by the way.
why are you doing this?
He's an idiot.
Come on, man.
Oh.
hey, hey,
No.
you understand exactly what I said. We're gonna
That
bring
wasn't even me, bro. That wasn't even me though. I
because
didn't
we
know.
haven't because we have not put ourselves in that situation, and we never will.
Mm.
Okay, that's a different
Yeah.
episode.
No, it's not even a different episode. This is a short clip so that you were aware that we had this conversation.
It's the pineapple episode. So
Yo,
Wow.
it's not even, hey, it wasn't my idea, bro. Okay,
It was
gotta
your
go.
idea. It was your idea to wear the pineapple shorts.
I didn't have nobody had shorts on.
we are veering into a totally
Yeah.
different area. That arena is
That's the no new friends area
yeah.
where outside
Yeah.
of that part of the
That is
pool.
no new
Right.
friends.
Oh my
Exactly.
So I think we're all in agreement, right? No new friends, right?
No
Like
new friends.
no new friends.
and none of Greg's new friends around us. Yeah, pretty much.
None of
So
right.
when y'all say that, so let me because I know where. So no new friends meaning if someone of someone that you meet that you believe could enter into your circle that's a female that could meet with your wife, connect with your wife,
Mhm.
connect within your group or circle. If they have a significant other, you have that person still. If the two of you connected, you don't believe they could still come into your circle or be involved with like with your partner. If your partner was good with that.
Like I was saying earlier, I feel like
I don't think it's as simple as saying no new friends because we meet different people in life. I think I think that I think that there are no new exclusive friends, and that's why
Yeah.
like I said, that's why
Yeah,
when I
that's
have
what
my
we're saying.
daughter on the spectrum of where we are in life, we have some real clear boundaries that we know we want
Yeah.
to protect. I know I do. And so, but when you're younger, that could be a little bit different. But even at our age, or even at this point in juncture of our lives, I still think saying no new friends, I don't think that's an absolute. I think that you can meet people that would be cool and that can enter into, that you could bring into your relationship, but you have to be clear with what we said earlier.
Right. So
They shouldn't be,
no
your partner
exclusive
should
friends,
not be under,
like
your
you
partner
said.
should be aware of who they are, and if you consider it approval or whatever, they have to be a part of the conversation. They should never feel uncomfortable about any friendship relationship that you're
Very
having.
true.
And
But it's also challenging to create new friendships that can't come into your family circle. You know what I'm saying? Like
true.
if I meet someone, even if I meet a dude, I need that dude to have, a wife and some kids. You know what I'm saying? So that we can, at least a wife. So if nothing else, we can have a couple events. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, deuces.
He say he fading out.
It's Homer Simpson in the bushes.
Yeah, right.
No, but I
That's
mean,
what he looked
I'm
like
with
right
you.
there. He did look like Homer Simpson in the
Yep.
bushes.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, it is possible. I'm not saying that it's not, but again, to the point that you said, it can't be exclusive, and you got to make sure that they're bringing something to the table, far as being able to meet up and converse with everything else you got going on. You know what I'm saying? The fact is, all of us get along. We can all converse. We can all go to each other's home. And it's cool. You know what I'm saying? So
I'm done making friends. You guys are it. That's it. I'm done. I don't have the energy for it.
but
That part.
that's a whole nother conversation. Because
Yeah.
but see, that's the other part to it, right? At this age, and like, I mean, I have a compadre now. When I met him, it was during a difficult time for them. But he's like, yo, do I owe you anything? I said, look, you don't owe me anything. And if you want to be, I said this to him, if you want to be friends, we can be friends. If you don't want to be friends, we don't have to be friends. I said, I'm too old to play games. I'm too old to play games. I said, listen, you needed something. I provided it for you. That's it. There's nothing else to it. If you want to continue to hang out, you're totally welcome to do that. If you don't want to, that's your choice. Cool. No, yo, you're not gonna hurt my feelings. You owe me nothing. Owe me nothing. We good.
You don't owe me nothing, Poppy. You getting ready? Mexico City? I think we got this one in the bag, bros.
That's what's up, man.
You gotta roll us out of here, Greg. It's your topic.
You got what I need. But you say he just a friend.
Don't, 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 don't.
And you say he just a friend. Oh, baby.
Oh, baby.